Marcia was unfairly convicted in Kuwait just last year on unsubstantiated charges of embezzlement, and she was sentenced to 10 years hard labor. But while she battles to clear her name, she is stuck in Kuwait, banned from leaving there, even to be with her mother, who is having serious medical treatment here in the United States and who is herself a US citizen. Do you know, I was in Kuwait just last week to attend the latest hearing, and I have to tell you that once again, the court procrastinated, leaving Marcia stuck in this terrible limbo.
Marcia Lazareva has suffered from intensely of a lack of any kind of clear rule or even a lack of any kind of common sense. The evidence, or much of the evidence that she had been found guilty on, was shown to have been forged.
This woman must have done something wrong. She did not. We reviewed it. We met with Louis Freeh, former head of the FBI. Louis did a forensic analysis of everything and said she has done nothing wrong. She is a loving mother. The trauma that not only Marcia has suffered, but Yvonne has suffered, it's close to irreparable.
Been to Kuwait maybe 5 or 6 times for this case, and I'm convinced that the ruling elite, the establishment, want it to be fixed.
And yet again, we seem to see rogue elements in the Kuwaiti system, particularly the legal system, disregarding the rules. Certainly when we were there, it was very obvious that there were people observing what we were doing. She is followed all the time.
So clearly the court that is prosecuting Marcia and Saeed are being influenced in some subversive way. There's just no doubt about it.
If anyone's human rights were violated, hers were. 470 days, sharing a cell with at least up to 6 other women, sentenced to hard labor. I was in that prison, and it is not a good place to be. Marcia's gonna need counseling for a very, very, very long time when this is all over as well.
At all times, that we continue to remind Kuwait that its reputation for human rights is being damaged, the reputation for doing business in Kuwait is being damaged. What business is going to go do business in Kuwait when if you pick the wrong local partner and you have a business dispute, you're going to be held up in court, you're going to be arbitrarily held in prison.
But by highlighting this issue, I mean, she wants to see changes so this doesn't happen to anybody else, not simply successful foreign businesswomen, but actually to those other women, and she's mentioned very much about them too, who are also suffering.
Marcia Lazareva and Saeed Dashti have been treated very poorly because of business rivalry, and the process has been corrupted by a cabal of officials in Kuwait that need to be held accountable. The Emir, who has a great reputation globally as a humanitarian, is not being well served.
Because if this can happen to Marcia, this can happen to anyone. This family needs to be reunited. They need to be together.
Marcia's case is at its root a humanitarian issue. It is, we're talking about a mother of a son she can't care for properly, and that we're talking about a son who's been denied a mother. We're talking about a daughter who can't take care of her ill mother. We're talking about somebody who has spent 470 days in unthinkable conditions. In cases like this, of the powerful continuing to abuse those positions and their victims by using the legal system and draining them of financial and energetic resources in the process.
Justice systems have actually failed women in delivering what they're looking for. I think the massive project is to fully understand women as human beings. And I think that project of the humanization of women is a project that is still incomplete.
But what she's trying to do as well is to improve the system in Kuwait, not just for herself, but for those other women who no one's been talking about, but who are there, who are day to day suffering the consequences of a system which is flawed. It does have the power to highlight her case. It does have the power to, within the UN, at the moment Kuwait is on the Security Council, to at least make them justify what they are doing, and that pressure, hopefully, will result in justice for Marsha.